Obviously, the two biggest losers, the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. Boston blowing a 3-1 lead. Denver not being able to come out of the hole from a 3-1 deficit. Which was more disappointing? The Denver Nuggets loss or the Boston Celtics loss?
For me, it's got to be Denver. The way you lost this series it's unacceptable. For Boston Celtics, obviously you blew a 3-1 lead, and you have to finish these games off, especially going up against a really good team. But that is unacceptable, especially for a team that was bound out of the East to be one of the contenders, bounced first round. But it was a complete catastrophe for the Denver Nuggets. They were nowhere near what we knew them to be. And it completely changes how we see everybody on that team, especially losing so horrifically to a team that didn't even have their best player on the court in Anthony Edwards and still lost. We were predicting that the Denver Nuggets were going to come back. And completely...
That's how much we believed in them.
That's how much we believed in them. And it just completely did not happen. Timberwolves completely outplayed them. And it's like, for this Denver Nuggets, where do you go from there? Boston has a lot more flexibility. Obviously, last year, you got rid of a lot of your big cap hitters. And now you can go get something more better on the market. But now it's a real problem for the Denver Nuggets, who essentially have been all in for several years now.
Yep.
So it's really time to start picking apart players, and a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of different changes going on in Denver this offseason.
Yeah.
I think you made such a good point there. I think that the Celtics have so much more flexibility. I completely agree. Because at the end of the day, you have two true superstar players on your roster, and you have them for long-term deals. You have them on long-term deals, right? And I think Denver is in a spot where you have Aaron Gordon, who's been struggling with injury now for a while, and he's on the end of his deal, I believe. You have Peyton Watson, who's about to leave in free agency, get the highest number for whatever some team's going to pay him. Could be the Brooklyn Nets, whatever. Jamal Murray, he just did not show up, and there are huge question marks about whether he can still be a number 2 on an NBA championship team. Yeah, Denver kind of needs to really change it up, almost clean house in a sense, because they're not competing with the Thunders or Spurs at this point. They're not
at this point.
And I think they need to start making some splashes, and I think that you really need to take advantage of having Jokic and building around him.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with both of you. The more disappointing team here is the Denver Nuggets. This is a team, like Kai, you already stated, but this is a 7-year window that we're closing in on. Most teams don't have 7 years where they have an opportunity to be competitive. The Denver Nuggets have. Like both of you said, this is a team that we predicted to possibly go to the NBA Finals this year. Now, they weren't on the top of my list. They were somewhere close to the top. But we had extremely high expectations for this team. Not only that, and I give Nikola Jokic all the flowers that he deserves, but we got to look at this holistically. This guy's a second-round losing merchant. This year was the first round. It's also been the first round a couple other years in the past. When is this guy going to get over the hump again? We're not comparing him to a regular Joe Schmo in the NBA. His legacy will be compared to the all-time greats, as it should. But with that is going to come the criticism of not getting over the hump, right? And this is a 7-year window now, and he has one championship and one finals to show for it. Mind you, he's only beat a 50-win team once in all that time. That's, that raises some eyebrows. It rose my eyebrow when I saw that stat. And the Boston Celtics, again, like you guys both alluded to, they have flexibility here. They have two players that were great in Game 7. One of them didn't play. Now, should they be humiliated? Absolutely. They shouldn't have lost that series. They were up 3-1. You had 3 games to get 1 win. You didn't, right? I don't like Jaylen Brown's comments, but we'll get into that. So I think they have more room to go from here. Their window is still open. This was not supposed to be their year. They overachieved. They underachieved this playoff run. But for that reason, Denver is the more disappointing team.
It's interesting. I'm really not thinking in all of this. I actually don't think a lot about Jokic's legacy here. I really don't, because I know what Jokic is as a player is a top 10 player ever, and whether he has the accolades or not, he does have a championship and he does have 3 MVPs, and I think that's enough. He already had a Hall of Fame career. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean no one questions his Hall of Fame status.
I don't think he cares even about where he is on the all-time centers list. That's just not the kind of guy he is. But I don't even look at him anymore. Like, whatever he does, I don't think he needs anything more than he already has right now.
You think he's accomplished enough?
I think he's definitely accomplished enough in his career.
He's peaked.
Has he peaked? I think he has more juice for sure, man. We're talking about the best player in the league.
So you don't think he needs to accomplish anything else? You don't think he can move higher on the all-time list?
He can definitely move higher all time, but I don't think he needs to. Like, if he continued to lose to the Thunder in the next few years, right, and in the West, which probably is bound to happen.
You rank him a top 10 player of all time if he lost for the rest of his career in the first round.
Some people put KD in the top 10, and I think Jokic's career is way more impressive than KD's.
Do you think Jokic lost his status of potentially becoming the GOAT? Because there were little aspects that he could potentially become to that point of, being past LeBron. I think at this point, I think we kind of moved past that kind of conversation at this point.
I really don't
100%.
I don't put that much blame on Jokic for losing the series.
To me, it's not about that.
Yeah.
He was very inefficient and had
He was very inefficient because he had one of the greatest defenders in NBA history on him, and he got no help.
And if you
had no help.
If you are one of the best players of all time, you should know how to move past that.
He had no help. Do you know how many
Who was
more
he
assists
playing,
he would have had,
bro?
man?
Look at who he was playing. He was playing a beat-up Minnesota Timberwolves team.
He was playing against
the
one of the greatest bigs defenders of all time, Jaden McDaniels. We all agreed is a number 2 option in the NBA today. But everyone played well in the T-Wolves.
But if we're talking about the GOAT status, LeBron had nobody too.
Yeah, he had nobody in 2018. He had nobody in 2018. He didn't win a championship, though.
He didn't lose in the first round, though.
Fair. Who was he going against?
The entire East?
The East was trash.
Oh, my God, dude.
LeBron made it to 10 or 8 straight finals, bro. Jokic has made it past the second round twice.
Yeah.
He's not in that conversation, and he was prior to this series. Is that not true?
That is
Jokic
fact.
Before this year, with Jamal Murray obviously getting it, Jokic never played with an all-star.
That's also true.
Has never played with an all-star except Jamal Murray this year. You have to look at that as well. Jokic, in the scheme of things, has not had a lot of help on his teams. Yes, I know he's had great players like MPJ, but he's never had another all-star teammate.
But LeBron has also produced more with less throughout his career. That's a fact.
Yeah. I mean, no one's calling...
we're not questioning LeBron's status as the GOAT.
Yeah.
But if we're going to put him in conversations like that, you have to bring those stuff up.
Exactly. To me, the conversation that Jokic was in before this series was a top 5 conversation.
Yeah.
I think people were putting him right outside there. For me, now he can't be in the conversation with Shaq. Shaq, wherever he went, he was a walking NBA Finals. I don't know if he's in the conversation with Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry is just when he has a full healthy season. So that, to me, the conversation has shifted totally from this series.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
What are we talking about? Jokic has 3 MVPs.
And he's still considered a top 10 player in the NBA.
Shaq has 1.
So you think Jokic is better than Shaq?
A better player? Yes. He's a better basketball player than Shaq.
Do you think Shaq deserved more MVPs?
No.
You're not serious.
You're talking about
No.
Steve Nash?
Yes.
No, I think Steve Nash deserved that number 1 seed. Most assists in the
That's
league.
fine. I'm not mad at that. But to think that Shaq isn't as good as Jokic is kind of crazy, bro.
Why is that crazy?
You
As a
think-
player. I'm talking about player. I'm not talking about career. I'm talking about basketball player.
Yes.
Okay.
But if we talk about basketball player, Shaq was the most dominant NBA player in the league for like 5 to 10 years.
Without a doubt, bro. Walking NBA, wherever Shaq went, his team was in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's true. He was on good teams too, man. Like, he was on good teams. Shaq had a lot more than Jokic did. Let's be real. Man.
Jokic had his opportunities as well, though. Jokic has lost in Game 7 a few times. There were opportunities for him. And we put him in those conversations for a very good reason. I honestly feel like Jokic got into the top 5 conversation extremely quick, but it was deserving. But the point is, these are blemishes on his career. Okay? LeBron. There are blemishes on LeBron's career for his finals losses. His finals losses, people were taking that away. People were saying he was less than Kobe. And Jokic not getting out of the second round for what, 6 out of the last 7 years? That doesn't look good.
Listen, man. Like I said, I'm looking at Shaq and Jokic as players, right? I look at Jokic. I don't see any flaws to his game besides defense.
Okay, but
Right?
what about team success?
I'm talking about player. I'm talking about.
I know, but I'm talking about a player.
Shaq has had the better career. I agree, but he's not a better
All right.
basketball player than Shaquille O'Neal.
All right, I'm fine
Oh,
with
sorry.
that. I'm fine
He
with
is a
that.
better basketball player than Shaquille O'Neal.
I'm more okay with that, but to put Jokic and Shaq in the same conversation, I wouldn't be.
That's fair.
Because I do think Jokic is a better player, but it's marginal. Gonna wrap it up now. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for all the new content that's coming.
Oh, you like a double?
Oh,
That's your stuff.
we're just getting there. But until next time, let's run the tape.
Say.